I'm Katie.
And we are Just Talkin' Ag. This podcast is about issues in our local ag industry, advocacy, and our chapter.
New podcast episodes drop every Monday, but be sure to follow our TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook for extra content throughout the week. Before you watch this podcast episode, we just wanted to introduce ourselves and introduce our cameraman, Sedona, the mastermind behind it all.
Kaylee Walling. I've been in FFA for 2 years. I am our chapter sentinel, and I'm currently enrolled in 3 agriculture classes. My favorite one is horticulture, where I am in with my really good friend Katie, and this is where the podcast was formed, was in that class.
My name is Katie. I'm in my 2nd year of FFA as well. I'm only enrolled in 1 agriculture class, and that is floral with Kaylee. I'm just really grateful for my experience with FFA so far. I've had a great group of friends come out of it, and it's also really helped me with my public speaking, which is something I'm really happy about.
Hi, I'm Sedona Cole. I am the Chapter Growing Leaders Committee Chairman, and I am just enrolled in animal science. And my favorite memory from FFA has been definitely the junior parley journey with my team and having our very serious practice days and then just goofing off other days with doing random and silly accents to just debate.
March upcoming events start with March 7th, where we will have Weiler's birthday. Make sure to wish her a happy 18th. Then we have March 17th, where we will have our chapter's officer meeting. And March 18th, we will have regionals, where we will compete in senior parley and numerous competitions. March 26th, we have our FFA meeting and our Building Communities meeting, where Alex and Haley will show you the ropes of their committee.
Our April upcoming events start out on the 21st with Mr. Sewell's birthday. Also on April 21st, we have our officer meeting. And then on April 24th, we have an FFA meeting, and we also have UK Field Day on that day, where there will be numerous competitions. Make sure to sign up for that for the extra dojo points. And lastly, on April 30th, we have a Building Communities meeting with Alex and Haley.
Thank you guys for tuning in for our first ever podcast. Today we have our guest speaker, Miss Johnson, who means a whole lot to me and Katie.
For our first question, we want to ask you to share your journey with FFA and how you became an advisor.
So I was not your traditional ag kid at all. I actually started off my junior year of high school taking an ag class and running for an officer position, and I ended up being a committee chairman at Carroll County High School. And then I kind of took off from there. So I was a regional officer, and then afterwards I became a state officer for the state of Kentucky. And then I just fell in love with it and decided that I wanted to make an impact in kids and more or less in students that wanted to be a part of an industry that I was so passionate about and I didn't always get to experience. And so I think that's mostly where my love for the job came from, is seeing the joy from the students, and then also just kind of the impact that my ag advisor had on me and that I wanted to have on someone else.
Okay, next question. What is a memorable moment or achievement from your time in FFA or your time as an advisor?
I think that my time as an advisor has been much more rewarding to me, even as my time as an FFA member. I had a great experience in FFA, but my time as an advisor, seeing the success from my students has meant 10 times more to me than my own individual success. And so actually the 3 girls that are sitting in the room with me right here probably is one of my biggest achievements as an advisor, or one of the things that I think back on a lot. And it's them winning second in the state last year for junior parley. That was my first ever team getting to kind of coach, and it was all due to their work and their hard work, but I was happy to sit there and get to watch them succeed, and that was kind of a huge moment for me, and a foundational moment that I was like, hey, I kind of belong in this job. I love this job, and so that meant a lot to me.
That's great. I love that. For our last question, since our podcast does talk a lot about all the issues concerning ag, we wanted to ask you what is an issue in our local chapter or ag in general that you think should be addressed.
I think one of the main things is getting youth involved. So obviously, you all having a podcast over advocacy, that's one thing I would touch on a lot, is that if we look at the average age of a farmer, it's about 64. And so we really need to get more young youth involved in farming and know that the backbone of our country, and we cannot continue to feed the world if we don't have kids, students, youth involved in that process. And so taking what they're learning inside the classroom and turning it into a career and realizing it's okay to work on a farm and live on a farm and be engaged in those agriculture pursuits, much like our creed says. And so I think that it's getting youth involved in agriculture. Continue to do that, because we don't have success if we don't have ag.
Well, thank you so much for letting us have you on today. Thank you guys for joining in with us. And we just thank you. Without you guys, this podcast would not be possible. So thank you all so, so much.